Video, we're going to go over the current program tab in your members account. So what I want you to do here is I want you to click on the current program tab, and that brings you to the following page. And over here, it'll display all the information you need about your current program. So briefly overviewing every little piece over here, starting off with the workout section, the workout schedule tab. This basically goes over every single day in your split as written in the program. So this particular program has a 12-day split, meaning it's on a 12-day rotation. So you do not do the same exercise until 12 days later. There's actually a little mistake over here, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter for the purpose of this video. And in here, you could actually see every single exercise listed for you in the order that they appear in the program. However, it doesn't show acute exercise variables. So in order to see acute exercise variables, you would actually have to click on one of the numbers. So if you wanted to see the variables for number 1, you would click over here. And this allows you to actually go into the program and see the exact number of sets, reps, relative intensity or weight, tempo, and rest periods for that movement. This one being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of deadlifts, sumo, clean grip. The first set being 3 reps at 66% with a tempo of 0.3x0 and a rest period of 240 seconds. The second set being this line, so on and so forth. Usually in the notes tab or the notes area, I write a little something important for you, so don't forget to read that. And that is how you view each one. If you click on the next tab over here, it'll bring you to the next day in the cycle, which will be day 2. And whenever you do a workout, I expect you to log it in your logbook that you received, but I also expect you to log it online, especially if you're in another city. It is the only way for me to actually verify that you're doing the work correctly and that you're progressing properly. So in order to log a workout, you would click over here, log a workout, and you would write the time that you worked out at. You would write the date, the duration, your current weight, and if you have a resting heart rate that you check every morning, it wouldn't be a bad idea to check it first thing in the morning. That's a great way to test for overtraining. So every morning upon waking, test your heart rate, and you click log completed workout over here. And you see this little orange check mark over here. That's an indicator that you've logged that session. So if I go back to workout schedule, on my end of things, this is what I see, and this is also what you see. You could see that orange check mark right over here showing that you went to the gym. However, the check mark is orange and it's not green for a reason. The reason is you have not updated or inputted all the necessary information I need to keep track of you as a client. So once you have logged it in, you would actually go into here and click log details to go into greater detail. And over here is where you would actually write your weight. So in every program I've written for you, I've written a number of reps you have to do. Under no circumstances do you do any more reps or less reps than I have described. It's always 10. If you have to break it up into parts, that's fine, but you must always complete all of the reps. And over here you would write the weight that you did. So let's say deadlift, 300 pounds, second one 320, 340, right? And you would continue to fill up everything with that. And this is just from looking at your book and writing down the information. I recommend you write down the information at the end of every week, usually before Friday or a Friday night or a Sunday morning or whatever it may be, whenever you have time. But I need this information in order to keep track of you. Once you click save over here, it says the details have been logged successfully. All right. And there you go. And you have everything written over here. Let me just go into edit workout log over here. Make sure everything's written correctly. Perfect. And then you could even go, actually let me go back and write this down. You could even go into details here, and this is a great spot for you to actually write something to me as a communication, or to yourself to remind yourself of something you want to ask me. But let's say you were doing a deadlift and you said, you're thinking, wasn't sure if form was correct. And that's just a little note that you want to keep for yourself for that specific day. You could write that down. I'll be able to see that as well. So that's good information for me to have, and it's good for you to track everything. Click save. That's that. If we go back into the workout schedule section over here, let it load. You could see now that that arrow has turned green, meaning you filled out all the necessary information for me to keep track of you, regardless of where you are on the planet. I'm coaching you with precise detail in terms of your program itself. When something is not filled out or when a workout is not done, it'll be left empty. And essentially, in terms of accountability, if these are empty, I'm assuming you're not doing the work. Even if you say you're doing it, it doesn't really matter to me, because at the end of the day, if I don't have the information, if I don't have the numbers, I can't really help you as a coach. So everything's very mathematical, everything's very scientific. So what I ask you to do is every week, make sure you update your online account so I could check it out and I could help you to the best of my ability. Otherwise, you're wasting a really good opportunity to get strong and lean at a very, very good and affordable rate. So I recommend you take advantage of me while I'm around. That pretty much covers what's written or what's happening here in the workout schedule. If you click on the workouts tab, this shows today's workout, right? And again, you could click back and forth, and you could go into the future or into the past. As long as you keep everything well organized, I'm happy. And then if you go into the printouts tab over here, this is where you could actually print your program to put in your binder. So what I will have you do is you would click over here, click select all over there, because these are all the sections, and then you would click print, and that'll bring you a little pop-up area over here. You let that load, and then you would also print this one over here, the workout sheet. This is where you write everything down. So these are the two most important sections to have. This is a brief overview of all your work exercises, and this is where you would actually write everything down. And then you could print it out double-sided, put it in your binder just as it is now, and that'll allow you to keep track of everything. So if we just go over here and take a look, just for the sake of completeness, it will take a few minutes for it to pop up. At least it does for me. So just be patient, and make sure that when you do print it, you print it properly, and everything's organized in your binder. I'll wait a bit for that. Let's go back to here. Close this up. Close that up. Give me a second here. Uh-oh. Okay. I'm just going to close this up. Okay, well, there you go. You could see. There's your document. Depending on what you have as a computer, it'll be a different strategy for getting it printed the way you want. But I recommend double-sided, printing it lengthwise so that the border is over here. That way you could place your holes and put it in the binder nicely. So just to give you an example, I would click print, and I'll say black and white, two-sided. Click your, you want to click on your proper printer, and then you would print it, and you make sure it prints the right way. So you might have to figure out your printer to make sure everything's printing properly, but once it's done, it's done. So I'll close that up. This is your other one. This is the summary part of it, and this goes over all the acute exercise variables as well as the actual program itself. What I recommend when this is printed out is you actually put X's over each day that you've completed. Now you'll notice that all of my programs actually have the sequence without any breaks in the days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there seems to be no days off. This is not actually true. What will happen is in your program, you will do as many days consecutively as possible, but when you feel like you need a break or you're exhausted or tired, then you take a break. So if you took a break over here on day 4, it simply means the next day you would continue on day 4. You would not actually skip any days. So no matter what or how many days you're taking off, it would always be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in sequence. Whether you train 3 days a week, 5 days a week, 7 days a week, it doesn't matter. It's always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you follow that, things will go well for you. Don't skip any days, and you'll be set. Back to here, the statistics tab. In the statistics tab, it's basically just information on technical information on your performance. So number of sets completed, number of reps, time under tension and duration, workload, type, intensity, density. If you're a nerdy guy like me, you'll really love this stuff, and it's a great way to keep track of your progress, workload, athleticism, you name it. There's even a drop-down menu over here to help you find specific performance numbers in your workout. So if I want to go to day 6 and I want to see how I'm doing on day 6, it'll plot a graph for me as you fill out the information, and you'll get a nice little graph showing that you are getting stronger or you are doing more work, whatever it may be. And that pretty much sums up the current program tab. Next thing we'll be looking at is program history.